each one and then put your door back on top of it, it'll put a small mark where the screws are. With an angle grinder, put a delve in there so you can put the door back on to do a dry fit still. And still allow the door to fit nice and neatly snug up to there. Looking under the rear arch, what we're going to do, you'll see this is the original car. We're going to put a line level with the arch, the rear arch, level with it. We're going to cut off the outer section of the arch. That's the outer section of the car, leaving the inner arch here. Just the outer. What we're going to do, we're going to bend these over the top like that. Bend them up and over, and then weld these on the top, and that, then we can seal all these edges up here. But stitch weld these, don't just tack weld them, make sure they're stitch weld, and it'll end up being stronger than it was, as it was only spot welded before. That's the quick, easy way to do it. Obviously it'll be neater than this because we're just in the middle of trying to show you. You see at the end of here, if you put a cut down the end of the sill, there's a main section inside here, this is the strengthened part. So we're just taking the tip off of it. And inside here, you'll see this lip here, where the two bits are spot welded there. Here and down here, that lip. We're going to cut this lip off, across here with an angle grinder, take that lip off. And we'll come back to this part later after we've cut this off, because we're going to seam weld it. We're going to put a seam weld down here. What we can do is knock this in. This is just to, because the tyre touches it. When you've got big wheels on, the tyre tends to touch this edge here. So what we're going to do is cut it off. You could whack it over with a hammer, but it's needed to chop it off and stitch weld it in there all the way around. As you can see, it's just coming down from this arch here, so it could do with coming off. And it's much neater than banging it across with a hammer. So this is the end cap that we cut off. And you can see we cut it off just a little bit further back, and we've cut ½ an inch out of it. When that goes back on, it can go over the top of them both and come level with this arch here. Hold it back on there, like that. As you can see, we've put the end of the sill back over it and overlapped it by ½ an inch, and as you can see that, what we're going to do is bang this back here and re-weld this up to this. So we're just taking the tip of the sill back by ½ an inch. It's in there. You maybe think, why didn't we make the kit come here to match up with it? When actually what it is, it's the wheel actually touches this when you've got big wheels on. So that's why it has to be done. As you can see, the structural point of the sill is this inside piece here. The inner sill is right far back inside there. This is the outer sill. Normally don't have this piece on cars, but it's because the Peugeot has a very long door on it that it's got this added piece inside, just to give the car more, the structure of the car more stability. This is also going to allow us to do a convertible, seeing that the sills are that strong on the car, there's no flex in it anywhere, and this will be coming later. As you can see, this is the inner arch of the front of the car. You can see we put a battery in here, it's on a jack at the moment, but with the metal provided, you're going to, from the bottom of this chassis leg here, underneath here, we're going to put some metal coming across here, underneath the battery, straight up from here, up to this top piece here, up to there, straight down. It's a nice way to tuck the battery away. You can use a smaller battery if you want, and then you wouldn't have to do this, but that means buying another battery. It's nicely hidden after the wheel arch line that goes in. And it comes straight from the underneath of this chassis leg here. Underneath there, a plate straight across and then up onto here. And you'll see here the fuse box. It was sat back underneath here. And you use to take the fuses out upwards, but obviously the wing's on now. So I'm going to bring it out to the front. Just strap it on for now, and then best thing to hold it down is stick a flex, or you can make a bracket to go from here somewhere. But just while you holding it in position, just strap it on with tie wraps, and then use sticker flex to hold it down on the bottom and on the top, and then take your tie wraps off. That will hold it in position. There's no reason why this should ever move, so you can use sticker flex to hold it in. When you're finished, you can put your cover on the top of it to neaten it up. Right, once you've put your roof on, or your metal on should I say, if you find that you've got a gap, if you push it back, once we've cut these lips off here and this drops down, you still find you've got a gap here. You've got 2 cuts in it, about 2 inches back. Cut a third of the way in on both ends, and you can tap this up with a hammer to get it to the right height. You'll know if you got it to the right height, because when you put your windscreen it'll sit nice and neat. Basically you should be knocking this up so it's level with this new roof, but obviously you want to take these tabs off the end so it sits in, and you just tap it up. Remember, a third of the way in, put a slit 1.5 to 2 inches back, a third of the way in from that end. That will help it bend, otherwise it won't bend upwards if you don't put those 2 cuts in it. Obviously you're going to weld these cuts back up again. What I also find in your kit is a piece of metal like this, pointed at that end, curved at this end. All what's going to happen is, this is the windscreen pillar. I'm going to weld that onto the edge of this here, just to widthen that up. Because we've brought the screen down and creates a gap on the edge, so the windscreen needs to sit further in. See, it's all cut to shape, it's just a case of plonking it in, giving it a seam weld all the way up. As you can see, this is the back of the rear panel. And you've got all these locating lugs in the back of it to hold it onto the frame on the back. You'll see these holes here on the back of the frame. The back panels to go into those. You can see that's the back panel on. Put a nut on there. That should fit straight in, no problem at all. Same with the back bumper. The back bumper just bolts straight onto these 2 holes here, like it would on the genuine car. The back of this is exactly the same as the genuine. As you can see, this is the inside of the rear bumper with the bolts on it to hold it on. As you can see, this is the back bumper on. There's a nice gap there. Even though I haven't bolted anything up yet, it's just loose fit. You can see it's not bolted on. None of this is it's just rested on, pushed in. Just like that. You can see there's a lovely gap there, all the way. And just tighten the bolts up, and that's the back of the car on. Just coming to the back, you'll find 2 big sheets of metal. One of them is for the bottom, big piece, that's to cover up your tyre well that you cut out. This piece is to cover up the back. It's going to come straight up across there. You'll find these small bits with the cutout on the corners, and they're to slot in there. So you've got your metal coming up here, that's going across there. What we're going to do is run some box section from the back of here, straight along there, and welded onto here. So it's going straight just up to about here, like 3 or 4 inches in, 30x30, 3mm thick box section, coming straight along there, straight onto the back of here. It just makes it that look a bit more stable.